Tim from Bozzy Garage. Today we're going to have a look inside the MG4 Excite 51. We're going to go through what you're going to need to know in order to drive away in your car without having to ask too many questions. Now, the first thing you're going to want to know, how does the key work? Here we go, pretty simple. You've got your lock, your boot unlock, and all your doors unlock button there too. Push once to lock, push twice to unlock. No audible cue though that you've locked or unlocked your car. Now, the other way you can do it, which I find quite useful, is that you don't even have to put this into the door. You can leave this in your pocket, just push that little button which is there, locked, unlocked. Easy. Now, there is also a backup which you may not know about. When you look at this key very closely, there's a little button there. If you push that, you can actually pull open the key, and there is a backup spare key in there too. What you do is this, there's a little lever that goes under here, and you can pop off that cover, and there is actually a keyhole for you to put this key in to access your car. I haven't tried it myself, and I don't know if it will actually start your car because I'm not sure if there's a key lock thing in the car itself, but hey, that's how you get into the car if your key, for whatever reason, does not work. Unlocking the car, and without getting in, you can see only the main driver's screen is on, telling you that the door is open. Nothing really happens until you sit down on the seat, which activates everything else. There will be a loading screen. It only takes a moment or two to turn on. Now, first thing we're going to talk about is your basic controls. And when you sit down, adjust your mirror, adjust your side mirrors. You adjust the side mirrors by putting that little switch left or right, and then moving the switch itself up or down. That is to adjust your headlight position. You probably don't have to worry about that too much. Lock your doors and unlock. And as usual, all your window controls are here, and you can lock the windows so the kids in the back don't annoy you too much by making them go up and down all the time. For those used to having the indicator on the right, I'm afraid they're on the left. Very common with European cars and a bunch of other cars which are not made specifically for the local market. To adjust your light, well, they come on automatically, as you can see here on the button. Flick that to the right. Otherwise, leaving it on auto most of the time is probably the best way to go. Quite useful. High beams by pulling and pushing the stalk in and out away from you. Indicator as well, left-hand side. When we look at the right-hand side, we have our wiper control. There is no automatic wiper here, but you can control intermittent by flicking that switch left and right a little bit as well, and that little button on the edge there for the rear wiper. There are vents, of course. You can adjust up, down, left and right, but I don't think you can turn them off individually. Here is your main driver screen. This is where you're going to get a lot of your basic information. Starting here, traffic sign recognition. It'll tell you what the current speed limit is. Don't rely on it, but it's not bad. Your current speed, parking brake is on, state of battery charge, estimated remaining driving distance as well, your drive mode, normal, sport, eco, etc. A little mini camera to tell you who's in front of you. Something that told you what is behind you, probably more useful, but whatever. Lane keeping assist, it is always on when you turn the car on. You're currently in park, and some of your driving statistic. Now, when we look at the main screen, this is where most of your interaction, I guess, is going to come when you're not looking at the driver's screen. This is the Excite model, bear in mind. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Simply plug in a wire into the USB-A port, which is that one there, wired, and it will charge your phone actually at quite a good rate. Not a bad thing to have. You can also get wireless adapters. We'll talk about that in another video. We're at 100%. I charged the car up recently, and by touching that screen, it'll tell you how much battery you got left, which is also what they tell you down there. When you're using the car, it will tell you about the discharge rate and how you're using the car as well in terms of energy consumption. The next icon here for your radio, we've got digital radio there and FM. We do not have AM That's fine. Digital's better quality anyway, but reception can be a little bit patchy as well. Going back to the main screen, aircon control. No split zone climate control, but you can adjust your temperature there and your fan there. And what we've done is we've set up a shortcut key, so when you push this button here, it'll bring up the fan control, which can then be adjusted, fan speed left and right, temperature up and down by pushing that button there. You can actually set that later, we'll talk about that in a moment. The icons here on the right let you adjust various parts of the infotainment. So general settings like, you know, the date, the time, screen brightness, Bluetooth connecting to your phone, volume settings of all the individual kind of alerts and music and sound and everything. You can plug in a USB storage device in order to get your own music if you want to do that, if you don't want to stream from your phone. User manual is there, and bind vehicle is where you connect your phone to the app. The app is on my wife's phone. I'm going to put a few shots of how that works here and over here as well, I think. But the good thing about the app is you can turn the climate control on remotely. You can cool the car down on a hot day and warm it up on a cold day. The digital key feature, I tested that the other night. That actually works. You can lock and unlock the car from the app, even in the Excite 51, and you can also start the car from the app too. Not bad. Quite impressive there. The next icon on the right is for your music control. Again, Bluetooth music, USB music there too. Phone calls too. Pair your phone with Bluetooth first and you can talk remotely or hands-free. But the main sort of adjustments come in that button right there. So let's go into the car settings a little bit more. Quite a lot of features to go through here. Going to the first tab. First is your drive modes: Snow, Eco, Normal, Sport and Custom. And you can also adjust that on the fly by pushing that button there. When I push it, we can change these options here. And it also changes the options on the main display too. Energy recover, that kind of controls how much braking you get when you lift your foot off the acceleration pedal. High is good for EV driving. One pedal driving is even better. So currently I can't turn it on because I've got too much charge in the battery. One pedal drive mode, just like a Tesla, that one over there. Great thing about it is you can come to a complete stop simply by lifting your foot off the accelerator, and after a bit of time you get to understand when you need to lift off the accelerator and to estimate how much distance you have to go. With the Tesla, I rarely have to use the brake pedal. It's amazing. It's the way of the future and is very efficient. It captures energy that would be wasted and puts it back into your battery. Energy saving mode. Yeah, that MG Pilot. This controls your safety features, additional things like lane assistant, keeping you within your lane. Actually, let's go back one to drive assistance. Let's have it on ACC, automatic cruise control. What that means is when you push that middle button there, your cruise control is on, but it will speed up for you. It'll slow down for you. You can also adjust how close you come to the car in front by pushing that button left and right. And when I do that, there you go. You can see the green arrows. More green means more space between you and the car in front. Quite useful. TJA, traffic jam assistance mode. You're stuck in traffic in Melbourne. You're waiting for all the idiots to get out of the way. It'll creep for you. It'll slow down for you. Something like that. Let's look at the next options here. Traffic sign recognition, really useful. Right, we'll shop in there. Front collision assistance is pretty good if you're distracted, and you shouldn't be distracted. The front collision assistance with automatic emergency braking will hopefully stop you rear-ending that nice new expensive car in front of you and making your insurance go up in premium. Unsteady driving warning. Well, you should be paying attention to what you're doing, but that is on too. Towing mode, well, I'm not towing, but you have that option there too. I believe the other spec models MG4 have a few other little excuse me, things that you can adjust. I don't have them. Convenience. You can pre-program what you want on your steering wheel, like a shortcut button. So like I said before, the left one has been pre-programmed for drive mode, which adjusts normal, sport, etc. And that one here I've pre-programmed it for aircon. So when you push that, you can adjust the aircon, fan and speed and temperature by pushing the right stick up and down. Very useful. Keep your eye on the road. Don't look at the screen too much if you have to. Unlock using your keys, just the driver door only, or all of them. Door unlock, kind of the same thing there. Lighting, you can have the light stay on after you walk away from the car. Auto high beam I've turned off. Don't like flashing people too much, but you can experiment with that, see if you like it. And safety features, auto hold is pretty good. When you come to a stop at a traffic light or behind another car, it will, and you put your foot on the brake, it will stop, and it will stay stopped until you put your foot on the accelerator again. Here, main buttons, probably should have covered that earlier. Volume up and down, home screen, which is that one here, your emergency blinker, rear demister, front demister, and turning your aircon on and off. The other thing too is, of course, the gear selector. Not a gear selector that you've probably seen before. Turn it to the left to get into R. That will light up in orange. A bit hard to capture that. Reverse, neutral and drive by twisting and turning the knob. When you want to stay in park, push that on. The red light there means your parking brake is on. Back to the driver display again. A couple of little things that we'll go through. This is quite useful here, like your trip meter almost, from start. If you want to go through your different options there, all you need to do is push that button there, and then when I do that, you can see you've got some other options to go through. You can toggle left and right here, and that will adjust what you see on the screen, the brightness level, your tire pressures. I will change that to a bar eventually, and back to your trip meter. If you then go up and down here, that will allow you to go through various options. And if you want to reset, like it says here, you push in on that and that will put everything back to 0. Alright, we are coming to the end of the video now. Now, when I put my foot on the brake, that will actually engage the car and you get a notice, we're ready to drive. Everything lights up in here. If I put it in D, you can hear that the car's ready to go. There is no like external speaker or any noise, but we can roll forward like that. When we roll forward, I didn't have to put my foot in the accelerator. It will roll forward just like a normal petrol car that you're used to. When we put it in reverse here, you get a beep and you get some reversing lines. And if I turn the steering wheel, you can actually see, well, I hope you can see, the lines also change a little bit as well. If I lift my foot off the brake, we will roll back. So again, unlike a Tesla where you have to put the accelerator down, it's almost like you're in a petrol car again. We'll stop there. There are reversing sensors too, and I've pushed that to put ourselves back into park mode, and we are good to go. As long as you're in park, very important, all you got to do now is get out of the car, lock it, walk away, you are done. Hopefully the video has been useful to you. There are a little few things to learn compared to a petrol car, but this is overall a really excellent car to drive. It handles well, it drives well, performance is more than adequate. I would say it's actually quite good performance even in the base model. If you pick up one of these, I reckon within about 10-15 minutes you'll be in love with it and you won't want to go back to petrol. That's why we've got 2 electric cars and love them to death. Great little things. Hope the video's been helpful. If it has been, please like. If you want to see any more details, ask any questions, or have any ideas for more videos, please comment. Subscribe for new videos too. I'm new to this whole video game, so if I've done anything that could do with improvement, more than happy to take that advice on board. Thank you very much.